Hello guys, we are going to talk about Aristotle in this video. We are going to be discussing on his theory of logic. I have referred the book Aristotle by Jonathan Barnes. For further reference, you can refer it. Okay, let's see this. If you're here for the exams or you're genuinely interested in this guy, let's get started. So this is chapter 7th. So first let's define what is logic. Logic is considered to be a system of reasoning. If there is a thing, you through a systemized manner, you reason it, you explain it. That is called logic. So he considers the sciences to be of various elements like axioms through syllogism and various other terms. So first, let's look at those terms. First term is axioms. What is axioms? Axioms are the very basic fundamental truths which can be used to build a theory or any further explanations. It is the very basic truth. It cannot be further explained. So axiom is almost like an atom over which we build everything else. So next, the process of reducing down to the basic truth is called axiomatization. It's obvious, right? So when you have a theory, then you reduce down that theory to a very basic truth. That is called axiomatization. Now, let's take something. So now, why did Aristotle live only until 322 BC? That can be a question, right? So now, for that, we have an axiom. Humans are mortal. Now that is a statement. So because humans are mortal, Aristotle lived until a very particular year and he did not live any longer. Because why? Humans are mortal. So now we have reduced a happening, a statement, down to a very single axiom. Now that is the process of axiomatization. And next, syllogism. It is one of the very popular theories developed by Aristotle, to which he is highly acclaimed even today. So what is syllogism? Syllogism is a structure where there are two premises and there is a single conclusion derived by it. Let's say, again, take another same example. Humans are mortal. Let's say this is premises 1. And another premise, Socrates is a man. That's our second premises. So from these two, we can derive a conclusion that Socrates is a man. Socrates is mortal. We can derive that conclusion. From two premises, we have derived a conclusion. Aristotle believed that this is the very basic of understanding things. Okay, now let's get into the contents. So Aristotle, through his works Prior Analytics and Posterior Analytics, he has dealt with the theme logic. So here first he states there is a statement. Let's say it is a sentence, but not every sentence is a statement. Let's see. So there is a sentence. So when should it be considered a statement? A statement is something that is either true or false. Nothing in between. It is not a question, it is not a command. It's either a statement true or false. Let me say, it is raining. It's either raining or it is not raining. There is no in betweens. So now that becomes a statement. So these statements, when they are proved, they are considered a preposition. These prepositions again affirm or deny something. And so in this preposition or statement, there are two parts. It is a predicate and a subject. A basic structure of a sentence, of course. So now let's take another example. Music is beautiful. Now that is a statement. So here the content, the subject is music, right? Of course it is the subject. So now the word beautiful is a predicate. So now you see the music is the object in the statement, which is the subject, and the term beautiful It is what it is being claimed for. It is either true or false. And so, a subject can be either universal or particular. For let's say, it is raining. Now that is universal. It rains everywhere. Now, the rain is not something specific. Rain is common. Now let's state Socrates. I am intending to point to a particular person, not just anything. There could be many Socrates, but let's just say so. So I am referring to a very particular thing. So it could be either universal or particular. There is another example given by Aristotle. Every viviparous animal is vertebrate. So here, the vertebrate is a predicate. It is either affirmed or denied by the subject, which is viviparous animal. Every viviparous animal is the subject. Hope that clear. And now the next element is the moods. Aristotle states that every proposition has different moods, a variety of them, and they are assertoric, apodeictic, and problematic. They are very simple. So first, let's see assertoric. Assertoric is an assertive sentence. It is what it is. There's an example. Some calamaries grow to a length of 3 feet. Some. Here it is stated some. So some do. That is a statement. Some do grow to this possible height. Now that is a statement. Next is apodeictic. Here, this way of statement states it is only this way. It cannot be any other way. For example, every man is necessarily constituted of flesh and bones. It cannot be either way. Humans cannot be constructed of woods, not. So it has to be this way. And next is problematic. As the title suggests, it's quite problematic. It has a state of it can be, it might be. There is room for confusion. For example, it is possible that no horses are asleep. Now, it's not true or it's not false either. It can be the truth. That is what it states. Now, after the types, Aristotle talks of the nature of proposition. It is available in his work Analytics. Here he states all the propositions are either simple or compounded of simples. It's just as the sentences. It's either a single axiom or a statement. It just states a single thing. Let's say it is raining today. Now that is a single statement. Simple. Now let's combine two. It's raining today, so you cannot dry your clothes. Now that is a compound of two simple statements. So again he says these propositions are either affirmative or negative, or universal or particular. And they are either assertoric, apodeictic, or problematic. Now, as we know, Aristotle lived a long time ago, so there are a lot of space for confusions. So in his theories, there is a lot of drawbacks available. So, are all propositions either simple or compound? Can we state that? No, right? Let's say I am giving a statement. We cannot just say that it is either simple or compound. There can be differences. And do we always have to use two terms as in a premise? It's not possible to always use two premises to derive a sentence, is it? And is it also always possible to state that a certain thing can only be this way? Let's say a human has two hands. Not all humans do have two hands. We cannot be sure, right? So Aristotle uses this word for the most part, stating usually, might not. So the next thing is his usage of alphabets to refer to a statement. You see, we cannot always go to Socrates for an example, right? So he created the usage of quasi sentences, like with alphabets, to explain his structure. For example, let's say A is a statement and B is another statement. Now there is another one called C. So it is just a matter of fact of equating each other. Let's say A is equal to B and B is equal to C. So now, obviously, A is equal to C. Like we explain the equivalence of a triangle or something, a systematic approach. So, for example, we have the sentence, every animal that breathes possesses lungs. Next statement, every viviparous animal breathes. So, comparing them together, we get the statement, therefore, every viviparous animal possesses lungs. That's simple, right? We infer a conclusion from two statements. In this way, his theory of syllogism can be easily explained with a structure of two premises, deriving a conclusion. So now, if we look at it from a distance of some 2500 years, there is a lot of problems we can find, but a lot of researchers are highly dumbfounded by the amount of intelligence a man had to think, to possess knowledge. People are highly impressed because of these 1,000 years Aristotle's idea of syllogism was followed. So, in the science of logic is a very outstanding work of Aristotle, and his idea to use generality by the usage of A, B, and C. He is considered to be the master of this area. So these are the contents discussed in his work Prior Analytics. Hope you were able to make sense of this concept. We'll see you again. Bye.